I could still need a booster pill.
Welcome, everyone, to this session of Administrator Issues and Updates, July 8, 2025. County Administrator Gary Schmidt, would you please call the roll for us?
Yes, Chair, thank you. Commissioner Savas is out of the office today. Roll call. Commissioner Helm.
Here.
Commissioner Schrader.
Here.
Commissioner West.
Here.
Chair Roberts.
Here. All right, Gary, would you introduce the first agenda item
Thank you,
for
Chair.
us?
Yes. First item is from the Sheriff's Office, approval of a personal services contract with CODA, C-O-D-A, for opioid abuse treatment within the Clackamas County Jail. Contract value is $366,358 for 1 year. Funding is through the Oregon Criminal Justice Commission. There are no county general funds involved. As promised, this is a new item, so we're bringing it to you first at issues before it goes on the consent agenda to answer any questions you may have. Giving the update today is Under Sheriff Lee Eby and Captain Jennifer Freeman, both from the Sheriff's Office. Go ahead, please.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Chair Roberts and Commissioners. My name is Captain Jennifer Freeman, and I serve as the Jail Commander for the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office. With me today is Under Sheriff Lee Eby. We're here to respectfully request your approval of a personal services contract with CODA for the provision of evidence-based substance use treatment services within the Clackamas County Jail. We're seeking your support for groundbreaking initiative aimed at expanding and streamlining access to treatment for opioid use disorder, also known as OUD. Specifically, what we're trying to do is methadone for individuals in our custody. For many people with OUD, particularly those using fentanyl, methadone is the only effective treatment option. This project will establish a methadone treatment unit inside the Clackamas County Jail, addressing the urgent need to reduce addiction and overdose rates among justice-involved individuals. The unit will be operated through a contract with CODA Incorporated, a trusted and experienced community-based methadone provider. This effort is supported by funding from the Oregon Criminal Justice Commission's Jail-Based Medications for Opioid Use Disorder, also known as MOUD grant program. This will build upon our existing partnership that we already have with CODA. Together, we will implement Oregon's first jail-based, fully integrated opioid treatment program, offering immediate access to stabilizing medications and addiction counseling within the facility. Thank you for your time and consideration of this critical and potentially life-saving program.
Great. Questions, colleagues? Go ahead, Ben. I see you.
So is this grant specifically just for methadone treatment, or does it also deal with Suboxone and other substance abuse disorder medications that help people maybe wean even away from methadone?
So this one is specifically for methadone. However, we do Suboxone and others within the facility in our MAT program already currently. So we do that.
Thank you.
And Commissioner Helm.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to say I think this is a great idea. I fully support it, and I'm really happy to see that we're the first doing it. It's almost kind of sad to see we're the first doing it. It's something I think that's sorely needed, and I think it's going to be a really good first step.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Commissioner West is. Go ahead.
I support it also. We have been really on the cutting edge, especially in Oregon, on our MAT, medication assisted treatment, and a variety of different modalities to help people stay sober and hopefully have the opportunity to really be successful in their substance abuse treatment disorder. And so I've been really proud of the Sheriff's Department in this, and especially the work we've done in the jail, and the nursing staff there is fantastic also. So thank you. I support this, and yeah, let's continue to do that good work.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words from the staff. The staff are the ones who really make the program work. And
Yeah, we have been a lot of evidence-based research and practices and best practices, and I've asked a ton of questions. I already knew the answer to the question I asked, but for the public's benefit. But I'm really proud of the way we've done it. I think it totally fits within the overall recovery-oriented system of care that the county's been championing, and the Sheriff's Department has actually been doing that model before we made it really official here at the county and under your leadership, Chair Roberts. So, yeah, this is much needed and money that will be well spent to get people good treatment.
And Commissioner Schrader.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. I think that you're going to have a unanimous support here today. I did have a question, though. CODA is the organization that will be providing the counseling services and that wraparound service to help people as they're going through treatment to really, truly get off of these substances. That's what they're, and where are they from? Where are they located? And how did you pick them as a
CODA
contractor?
has in Portland.
It is, okay.
Yeah, And so they're local, and we've already have an established relationship with them over the years. And so does the county. And so we're just piggybacking off of that relationship to just expand our programs. And they will help with the transitional services. We have other transitional services and discharge planning within the jail currently. And so this is just another step within our process to help people get back on their feet after being incarcerated.
Dan, does the transitional services include housing as well?
As you know, housing is a difficult question. We try to put them into the system as best as we can
Okay.
within those opportunities to get housing. Obviously, we don't have money specifically ourselves.
No, you don't specifically
Right.
do it, but you do
Yes,
go into human, you
Yes,
have
we
other
help.
contacts that you can
yes.
get people the contacts they need in order to pursue.
Correct. That's part of our discharge planning is we will help assist in the best way we can.
Well, thank you.
Just a couple quick notes. First of all, I want to start with Jennifer Freeman and congratulate you on your promotion. I haven't had a chance to say congratulations, and you've got a long history of many accomplishments, so congratulations on that. And then really, I think, really kind of following up on Ben's comments, that he's been saying this, and that's that continuous system of care. And that is really what all of us are trying to do for those non-justice involved and those that are justice involved. And so it is very exciting to kind of see, as unfortunately some of the first stops at UCM are in the jail, and making sure that to stop that revolving door is doing just what you're doing, the transition center, the CSEP program. And then it's our hope as a board really to step up the effort in kind of those non-justice involved or lower justice involved systems in this campus. So it's very exciting to see where we're headed, and just want to congratulate all of you on your hard work on really giving folks that hope of recovery, because oftentimes you're kind of at the low end of life sometimes when you end up in the jail, and that's fortunately sometimes a good time to change your life. So great work, keep it up. And if there's no other questions, this will come back on July 17th at our business meeting for a consent agenda. And I'll go ahead and transition to our next item. So thank you both very much.
Thank you very much.
And Gary, what's next?
Thank you. Next is Finance Department Plan for Monitoring the Sheriff's Office Financials. This is a result of a motion that was made during the Budget Committee earlier this year. To present is Elizabeth Comfort, Finance Director, and Cindy Becker, Project Manager in County Administration. And there was a memo in your packet. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Commissioners. As Gary mentioned, we are here as a follow-up from one of the motions that was recommended by the Budget Committee in May. I'm not going to read the whole motion because it's really long, but I'm just going to read parts of it. That the Finance Department would conduct a monthly analysis of Clackamas County Sheriff's Office financials beginning July 1st, 2025, with a monthly report to the Board of Commissioners. And there's a whole list of things that would be in the report. Based on the results of the monthly analysis, the board will determine by November 2025 whether to transfer all CCSO financial functions and expenditure oversight to the Finance Department effective January 1st, 2026. So that's, in short, the motion. And we've been working with the Sheriff's Office. We've met with the Sheriff's Office, Lee and Patrick. The first thing that I want to say is, the Finance Department is not jonesing to take over CCSO's financials. The goal is that CCSO use the systems and use them correctly, and when that happens, there would be no need to take over the financials. And so the list that you have here, and Elizabeth will answer any questions about it, is really what's expected of all departments. This is nothing new. This is nothing singled out for the Sheriff's Office. This is what is and has been expected of all departments. We had some really good meetings with the Sheriff's Office, and I know that they are on board and are already doing some of these things and starting them. So what we will do is, our goal is to kind of do a dashboard with you. We don't want to give you a long narrative over everything. So we want to give you a dashboard about utilization and accuracy and timeliness and of the various systems. And this is not just looking at the budget numbers, because a lot goes into the budget. And so that's why you see in this report there are other areas that we're looking at. in addition to just the budget numbers that you see. So grants and general accounting and payroll, all of that, if that's not done on time and accurately, is going to impact the budget. So we don't want to just give you the end result. We want to make sure we're looking at all the feeder systems that go into that. So, any questions? Elizabeth, you want any comments?
I think you covered it.
Questions, colleagues? Gary, do you have anything to add?
So thank you again. This is things that all departments are asked to do. And I'm grateful that the sheriff's office, the sheriff and undersheriff and finance manager have all reviewed this. They're on board with this. We're all working collaboratively, and I appreciate that. So we're just following up what the board directed, and I feel this is a reasonable request. So I am asking for a motion to just formalize this request, and then we'll report back to you each month on progress.
Right. Go ahead.
Gary, do you want a motion today?
Yes,
Yep. I'd be more than happy to make a motion if we're ready.
and it's in your script. Thank you.
Go ahead.
I move that we approve the CCSO Financials Monitoring Plan as presented in Attachment A.
Second.
And I think Diane Helm got that. So Commissioner West has moved to approve the CCSO Financial Monitoring Plan as presented in Attachment A. Commissioner Helm has seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, would you please call the poll?
Commissioner Schrader.
Aye.
Commissioner Helm.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0, Mr. Chair.
Right. Thank you, Gary. What is next?
Thank you. Next, advisory board and commission appointments. Andrew, go ahead, please.
Mr. Chair, there are 2 advisory bodies to consider for nominations today. The first is the Planning Commission, staffed by the Planning and Zoning Division, which currently has 2 openings due to term expirations. Public recruitment opened in December of 2024 and closed in February of 2025. Through the recruitment process, 7 applications were received and 2 are recommended for appointment. The recommendation is as follows. Brian Lee to a 2nd term ending 2029, and Scott Cantonwine to a 1st term ending 2029. The board could select other candidates or require further recruitment, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Questions, colleagues? All right. May I have a motion, please?
I move we approve the appointment of Brian Lee and Scott Cantonwine to the Planning Commission.
I'll second.
All right. Commissioner Helm has moved to approve the appointment of Brian Lee and Scott Cantonwine to the Planning Commission. Commissioner West has seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, would you please call the poll?
Commissioner Schrader.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Helm.
Aye.
Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0, Mr. Chair.
All right. What is the second advisory body for our consideration today?
Mr. Chair, the Clackamas Workforce Partnership currently has 1 opening on their board due to a member resignation. Recruitment opened to the public in January of 2025 and closed in May of 2025. Through this recruitment process, 4 applications were received, and 2 applications were also received from a prior recruitment process. 1 is recommended for appointment. The recommendation is as follows. Tyler Reisenauer to a 1st term ending 2028. The board could select other candidates or require further recruitment, Mr. Chair.
All right. Questions, comments? Seeing none, may I have a motion, please?
I move we approve the appointment of Tyler Reisenauer to the Clackamas Workforce Partnership.
Second?
All right. Commissioner Schrader has moved to approve the appointment of Tyler Reisenauer to Clackamas Workforce Partnership, and Commissioner Helm has seconded that. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, would you please call the poll?
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Helm.
Aye.
Commissioner Schrader.
Aye.
Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Gary, what's next?
Thank you. I want to add a quick item that's not on your agenda, update you on vector control. You had a joint meeting with Vector Control Board of Trustees a few weeks ago, and as you agreed, the next immediate step is that we would reopen the recruitment to fill the 2 vacant positions currently on the Vector Control Board of Trustees. That application period is still open. That closes on July 18th, so another 2 weeks. Myself and staff have proactively reached out to several community members we think would be great to serve on that board, as well as anyone who's interested in serving on the Vector Control Board of Trustees. So I will keep you posted, but the application period is still open until July 18th. And after that closes, we'll bring that back to you to fill the 2 vacant positions, so the board will be fully formed at 5 board members. And then they can work on some of the issues that you talked about with them in the joint meeting. So that's the status update. I'll keep you posted.
Thank you. Commissioner West had a comment on that.
Really, just clarification, are those districts for those board positions, or are those at large? Could you refresh my memory?
They are 5 at-large positions.
So anywhere in Clackamas County?
Anywhere in Clackamas County.
Okay.
You appoint the Board of Trustees, yet they govern a special district that is not a county
Yep.
function. So it's a unique reporting relationship, but you do appoint the Board of Trustees. It's anyone in Clackamas County is eligible to apply for these positions. Having some knowledge of budget, finance is helpful. Some knowledge of public health and vector mosquito control would be helpful, but not required.
I think at this point, we just like good, pragmatic, sensible leadership.
Smart folks who
Smart
are willing to
folks.
dig into the issues and help contribute, yes.
Yep.
Great. Thank you. Anything else, Gary?
No, not on that. Thank you. The final item today, Chair, is Commissioner Communications.
Right. And we'll move to communication. I turn to my colleague to the right, as I do. Commissioner Schrader.
Appreciate that. Well, I just want to mention it was a great 4th of July. I wanted to thank the Lake Oswego City Councilors that allowed me to walk in the parade with them, with my 2 dogs who had their red and blue bandanas on. That's Ginger and Little Dog. Ginger the Labradoodle, and Little Dog the feisty Pomeranian.
Yes, she knows.
And, yeah, you've seen her in action. And Rachel Verdick, who's one of the city councilors, had 2 of her very large dogs with her too, and I don't know their names or I'd mention them, but we had fun walking, and I really appreciated the fact that I got a chance to do that. And also, I want to thank Jeff Goodman, because, Diane, I think you were there. He has a 4th of July party every year. And those of us who are in public service, he always gives us a chance to go show up, have some really good food, and chat and have conversations with each other that are social, which is nice to build the relationships that we have with other fellow electeds and people in public service. Next thing I'd like to mention is I am heading out tomorrow to go to the National Association of Counties Conference. I will be doing a panel. I've been asked to be on a panel that has to do with housing and childcare and innovations and how we're managing childcare and how we're managing housing and how we're trying to integrate the two. And basically, I want to thank Tony for his hard work. He's put together a set of slides for me, plus talking points. And Diana, you gave me back my information on childcare because I'm going to read all of that on the plane to refresh my memory. It's only a 10 to 12-minute conversation with questions, so I don't want to overload, sometimes you have so much in your head, you can go on for 2 hours, but so I'm going to have to limit it.
Bullet points.
But yeah, bullet points, that's what they gave me, pretty much. So I'll have an opportunity to showcase our county there with what we've been doing in housing and childcare. I will mention to me that one of the big barriers is as we do more affordable housing and as we're upgrading and increasing the densities of what was formerly our public housing, and making that available to people, there are barriers to co-locating childcare facilities, and they're not the least of which is prevailing wage. So I've been trying to think, didn't have an opportunity to come up with legislation for the long session, but am looking at seeing what we can do to make that more of a possibility, and perhaps during the special session, which I think is imminent, it'll probably all be transportation, but I'd like to talk to some of our child care innovators and see if there's a way that we can break down those barriers. So at some of these areas where people have housing and need employment, that we combine workforce with childcare and make that happen as part of our continuum of service delivery. So that's one of my bright, shiny objects, Gary. that I've been working on. The other panel I'll be working with is the Economic Mobility Leadership Network. And basically, I have been assigned a rural county from North Carolina that's working on an agricultural workforce initiative. And I will work with them. We're going to have a whole presentation. They're going to have a facilitated discussion of what economic mobility is and what their projects are entail. And I've been assigned to be a mentor to this particular county because of my, I have some background in agriculture, obviously, and farming in the rural areas of the county and workforce. So we'll see how that works out. I'll come back with a report on that. I appreciate that opportunity. The other piece is that I will be attending the Women of NACO group. One of the things that the Women of NACO have initiated is an opportunity for students this next go-round for the legislative session in January, and actually it's usually in February or March, to have students from across the nation actually come visit with commissioners, have opportunities to visit places in Washington, D.C., the usual spots, White House, so on and so forth, but be with commissioners and actually talk about what they're learning and what they've learned about counties and give presentations. I do have a curriculum written up that I'm planning on using based on the information from NACO, and so I'm hoping using that curriculum and making that available to the women of NACO, we can actually have like pre-education for the students who maybe have a pipeline into that program. The reason that's important is that we really want to make sure with workforce that we also have young people who see public service and working at various levels of government as not only a public good, but also a good place to use their skill sets, have a good job, and be part of making our counties and our nation a better place to be. So that's the focus that's going on there. Finally, I wanted to give you an update on Clackamas Workforce Partnership. We obviously just had someone new appointed today to the CWP. We are looking for a new executive director. Director Bridget Daisy has moved on to do bigger and better things, and that is in process. I am not directly involved in the search process. However, I am monitoring it very closely because whoever is picked as executive director, it's going to be very necessary that they align with our economic development folks and how we're working with the business community to create jobs, and we're working with CWT to make sure that there's people skilled up for those jobs from our trade-sected businesses. So that's ongoing now too, and I will continue to give you reports on how that goes and who is the new executive director. So that's all I've got. Thank you, guys.
All right,
Okay.
thank you,
All right.
Commissioner. Commissioner West.
Thank you. I'm going to be at NACO also, really excited to engage there. One of the things I hope that is timely to learn about at NACO is local responses to natural disasters. We're all saddened by what happened in Texas. Commissioner Schrader and I had a conversation this weekend about just how devastating that was. You have the tragedy at Camp Mystic with the Guadalupe River that overflowed, and an act of God that absolutely has devastated, and 6 counties are involved. And so I know NACO will be probably having discussions around local responses and with natural disasters. Unfortunately, sometimes these things happen and there is nothing we as humans can do about it, and tragedy strikes, and we truly have to figure out how to be adaptive and how to take care of one another, even our friends and and those in Texas that that are going through this horrible tragedy. And but like what as a county, we've had our own devastating natural disasters with wildfires. And I know that Commissioner Schrader and Chair Roberts were very involved in that very tragic event, and we know we could have lost entire towns, and that was a real threat. So what is our natural disaster response look like? Are we having best practices around early warning systems, learning about any infrastructure changes that we need to be focused on? Is there things that we can learn from other counties that face natural disasters that we may be prone to? I mean, we've always talked about the big Cascadia event. We do have wildfires. We had the big freeze. I mean, we had I think that first year, Chair Smith, it was like, it
Yeah,
was just
it
like an
was
onslaught of natural
everything.
disasters, right? And we also had the heat dome. That's not as, that didn't last as long as some of the others, but, you know, how do we get those local alerts out there effectively? We've learned that the county didn't have the resources to have some of those early warning systems that other counties in Texas have. These things are very, very expensive also for counties to set up and establish. And we have to kind of prioritize how we do that and how we get those things up and running. And then there's sometimes just these things where we all kind of get that gut punch because nature did what nature does sometimes, and we can't stop it always, and we do the best we can. And so my heart and thoughts and everything go out to those in Texas. I know the whole nation is mourning. As we all were celebrating the 4th of July, we were all watching the news happen. So I hope that we have and are always looking at how we can be more efficient and proactive with Clackamas County's response and how we can have better warning systems and how we can promote engagement with our citizens and community members to be focused on those things. So that's been top of mind for me lately. That's one thing I hope to maybe get out of NACO. I know there's going to be a lot of conversations
Yeah.
around. I wasn't planning on that, but these things happen, and then that's one benefit at
We'll
NACO.
see. There'll
Yeah.
probably be folks from Texas there we can talk
Yeah.
to, too.
I'll be very engaged in all the health and human services discussions that are happening. There are things that I put forward during legislative days that will be voted on, that will be put into the bylaws, the things that NACO will be supporting and advocating for around better access to care, promoting licensures of nurse practitioners, physician's assistants, and other advanced practices to have more access in rural areas and to be able to use the full scope of their licensure to provide care and primary care. And having some streamlining around that, especially with full Medicaid and Medicare reimbursement rates for those individuals. They adopted that. We had some conversation around supporting. There's been some efforts, and I think it's actually happened, but since NACO did jump on board helping push to right what I think is a wrong when we had service members that were dishonorably discharged for being gay or lesbian in the military. There were those individuals that they were never reinstated or that dishonorable discharge was never removed. And so NACO made an effort to promote legislative efforts to right that wrong with our service members. So it's just interesting to be involved in a national level and different policy decisions as you push those things forward. Those are a couple things we've been working on this year. And we also will be talking about recovery, substance abuse, and championing what Clackamas County is doing. There's a lot of interest around that, too. I feel like I'm rambling for a while now, but isn't there like
Your light is
there a
behind your
flicker?
laptop.
Oh, I can't see my
so-
light. I can't see it. So yeah, I hide it for a reason, Chair. Yeah, he's like blink, blink, blink. Yeah.
I
So
haven't seen mine either, sorry, Gary.
So anyways, I look forward to being engaged with the relationships we have on a national level and always learning a lot at NACO. And then I look forward to coming back and bringing that home. So I'll be there with Commissioner Schrader.
Okay,
Thank you, Commissioner West. Commissioner Helm.
I ditto your sentiments about the Texas tragedy, and it is an act of God. I can't imagine, they said 12 inches of rain in 45 minutes or something.
Yeah.
It was
It's like 1 trillion gallons.
it was incredible,
Yeah,
and to watch the
unpredictable.
time-lapse videos and stuff, it's devastating, and my heart goes out to everyone there and anyone who's lost someone due to a natural disaster. I also went to Jeff Goodman's
Good, that's
4th
right.
of
Yeah,
July
it was
party. That was very nice. I saw a lot of people I hadn't seen for quite a few years, so getting back in the thick of it here, it was fun. Made new friends. That was the thing on the front door, says, "Come on in,
make new friends, yeah, he's a nice man, isn't he?
I also met with some constituents this last week in the development world. just business people who are interested in what I have, my plans, what my goals are for the county, and who I can help assist. And I do want you to know I love to meet for coffee and hear your thoughts, and I'm gathering a lot of information at this time, so that's another thing I'm doing. I met with the mayor of Milwaukee, Lisa Beatty, reached out to me and invited me for a tour of their downtown area and their Milwaukee Bay Park area, and met with her and Councilor Massey, I think it's Massey, Robert Massey, and that was lovely and very fascinating. I didn't know there was a dam under Highway 99, isn't that, yeah, and I've been down there, I've done the solve picking up litter down there, but I must have been on the highway and not on the back side of the bridge. So anyway, that was very good, and I am reaching out to the other mayors in the county, just trying to set up times to talk to everyone and find out what their goals, aspirations, plans are that we can help with, as long as we're not having to write a check. So there's little strings attached there. So anyway, that's it.
All right. Just a few comments, just to kind of follow up on Commissioner West, that I did want him to know that when I was sheriff, I think it's still in act, but we created it's a federal designated team called SWIFT. It's a Swiftwater Rescue Team, and particularly to help in our own county, but also Tillamook and other counties that have rapid flooding, and they have to be prepared to survive on their own for about, I think it's 5 or 10 days. So you have to have your own food, you have to have all these things to be qualified as a federal designee. They can bring a military C-130 in, load boats and everything up, and as a commissioner, one of the things to be aware of is if they do get deployed, the federal government is very slow on repayment. And that is where they may come to us and ask, hey, we will get reimbursed, but it takes a long time, so it can impact the direct budget. But they train with fire, and it's a really well-coordinated team. And it is just the time, I think, in the Texas deal was just so incredibly short.
Yeah,
everybody's
it was
in
like-
bed, and just like bam.
Yeah, that was it.
So,
It was-
just, and the notification, I think, so anyway, again, our hearts and thoughts are for all their families. To follow up, I'm very excited. I'm with two of my colleagues today, Commissioner Helm and Commissioner West. We're visiting 4D recovery, adolescent recovery, and what's so exciting, I mean, we are out there trying to make sure we're looking at some of the best practices, seeing how that we can bring them to Clackamas County, and making sure that that population is, we're doing all our best to support that. So the other thing I wanted to say is I graduated from AOC College. Thank you very much. It was a lot of Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays, but
It's well worth it, yeah.
The positive thing was really networking with other counties. And Marion, Yamhill, and other counties close to us, so about some things. And they are constantly asking us about where we're at on treatment and housing and stuff like that. So it's a great opportunity to network. But I am glad that's over. And then the last thing I wanted to say is also kind of following up, meeting with a constituent that unfortunately had their son paralyzed, and now they're in kind of an urgent mode to remodel a home to meet the needs of that, and has run into some challenges with some of the permitting process. And so I was going to meet with Gary and see what we can do to kind of help maybe move things along on that. So lots going on, and we've been all very busy. So all my best to you guys at NACO. Looking forward to hear what you bring back. And if there's no other comments, we'll go ahead and conclude today's administrator issues and updates. And just as a quick reminder to all, there will not be a board business meeting this Thursday, July 10th. The next one will be July 17th. So on behalf of the board, thank you for joining us, and we'll be adjourned.